Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR Career Mode. If you're not all caught up, go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome back to today's episode. I said I'm going to try and get these series out again nice and quickly, and hopefully the consistent episodes are showing that my best interest is there and that we are trying to get these out more often. So if you are now back and all caught up, last episode, some pretty big results, some pretty big turnarounds after some pretty drastic starts in a couple of games, going behind against Wimbledon and throwing away a lead against Brighton, but turning both around and managing to come out on top with 3 goals scored in each. So we stay in the cup. We continue our winning streak in the league and we power on to some other games. We also finished the January transfer window in the last episode. No sales, no purchases, a fair few loans though, so plenty of players out there getting some experience, which is what we needed. But looking at today's episode, the way I see it, if we average around 3 games an episode, depending on the amount of cup games, we're looking anywhere between 6 and 8 episodes for the rest of the season. And 8 is if we win every single cup game and go all the way to the final kind of vibe. So probably looking around 6 or so. But today we're going to be playing against Everton, Man United and Leeds, providing there's no cup games in between. So those are the 3 games we're looking at here. 2 games as well at home to round the episode off. Going to have a little look at the emails. We got sent an offer here, 6.5 mil from Aston Villa, which we had a few 6.5 mil offers in the last episode. It's outside the window anyway, so even if it was inside the window, I'm not accepting that one. Armstrong is here for at least the foreseeable future here. And then we've got Hunter, who is now out on loan, so that email doesn't really benefit us at all. And Lyndon is not very happy at his lack of game time now. We literally commented on the last episode that he is becoming our real reliable super sub. And realistically, long term, he's not the answer. We've got Brun Larsen and we have Sinclair Armstrong, who are our first 2 sort of choice strikers, with Larsen actually kind of adapting this left wing role at the moment so that he can play more consistently. But Sinclair really is the rotation option, so his game time is going to be few and far between. So maybe next season, if he's looking for more consistent game time, he's going to have to find that elsewhere. And I think that would be a sale, not a loan, if that was to happen. Also, when looking back in the editing of last episode, I was talking about Bellingham now being just short of the rating for Dizelle to kind of replace that rotation option off the bench. I think the plan will be at the end of the season, Bellingham will come back to us and Dizelle is going to be sold. Again, just frees up a bit of wages, frees up a little bit of money. It won't be loads for Dizelle, I don't think, but just brings in one of those youth players to, again, kind of empower this team a bit, because the bench is probably looking relatively weak. Realistically, for 3rd in the table, the starting 11's quite weak, but we're playing an ultimate. I don't know what more I can do. I've messed with sliders to make things difficult but playable, because just standard ultimate is boring because every player is 99 rated. If you don't know that about ultimate, every single player you play against will be 99 rated. So AFC Wimbledon and Man City will be like playing against the same team. It gets a bit stupid. So a little bit of slider tweaking to make it a bit more difficult for us, but more fun to play at the same time. But yeah, we definitely need to really look at this squad for next season and just bolster a couple of positions realistically. So we'll address that, I think, when we get there. But without further ado, let's jump into the first game of the episode. Let's start powering through things. I'm just going to show you guys the bench going into this game first and foremost. There, depth of rotation needed because the sheer amount of tired players is crazy. And 2 days from now, we play against Man United. So this is going to be a little bit rough here, but this is the starting 11. The only change from the team you'd have been looking at the start of the video is Peder has come in for Field. Field is not fully fit, but fit enough to make the bench, especially as he is the most fit rotation centre mid option that we have. I was half tempted to actually call up some youth players to kind of pack things out a little bit, but realistically it just ends up adding more players of similar rating. So this is the strongest 11 that I feel like I can field right now. Peder having to step into some pretty big boots, and the United game is probably going to have heavy rotation. This is going to be an interesting one. They've made a couple of signings here. They've got Melier in goal. Pickford probably around like 32, 33 at that point, so being rotated. I think they've got Tyreek Mitchell in as well, so a really good option there, the left back hand side of the team. But a couple of players in there that you maybe wouldn't expect, but some real solid options in there as well. But let's jump into it. let's see if we can come away with just more vital points going into this latter stage now, the final sort of third of the season coming to us. Kalulu plays a really nice ball there over the top here to Chiquinho, who's got a little bit of space. Kenneth Powell does get back, but not well enough. Chemeti with the strike, and he does find the back of the net with the first chance of the game. Only 8 minutes gone, and Chemeti puts Everton ahead, sitting in 14th going into this game. Bit of a shaky start here. Only the one rotated player out, but didn't feel good off the ball at all here. We just felt really lackadaisical. I don't think we touched the ball once there. Labrovic with not a great dive towards it, but it's a 1-0 lead. It is not the start we wanted, and it's his first goal. He's obviously just signed, unless he's a youth player that I've not heard of, but it's 1-0 to Everton, and it is a poor start for QPR. Gustavo Hamer bringing the ball forward here. We see a run from Willock. Going to play it into him. Good little first touch there to sort of wrong foot Tarkovsky. The option in the middle from Armstrong. He sort of ran centrally to not really go towards it. And he kind of takes away the option we needed to play that ball across there with Willock. But a good save in the end from, again, I think it's Meslier they've got in net. But you'd argue maybe should have been a bit of running from for Armstrong to make himself available. But more problematic at the back here. Chemeti with a second strike. And Chemeti makes it to a terrible start here at the Goodison Park game. It's not looking good for us at all. 2-0 to Everton as they are just rioting into a lead. And Chemeti is going to be looking like a deal of the season for Everton fans right now. Labrovic, a bit less he can do about that one. Not been called into action too much in the last couple of episodes, but hasn't had the best of time in net. And it's 2 shots, 2 goals, and both have gone Everton's way. Willock brings the ball forward, going to play into Armstrong. Armstrong's first real touches of the ball here. Brun Larson going to try and make a run. It's not really the through ballers after, but it does find Brun Larson. Good tackle from Tyreek Mitchell, and they do get it away as Willock was trying to square up here for the strike, but didn't get the opportunity to, as Everton defend pretty resolutely. Elias Chair picks the ball up in a good position here in the middle of the park. Plays a nice pass into Peda. Peda plays it to Armstrong. Does really well to keep hold of it. Gustavo Hamer got his first goal of the season in the last episode and bags a second in back-to-back episodes. Bit out of nowhere. We've sort of been looking threatening and creative without really testing Meslier too much outside of the one chance from Willock, where again the player in the middle would have been opportune there. But a lovely bit of play. Chair does really well to win the ball in the middle part. Plays it to Peda. Peda, nice, calm, composed into Armstrong. Nearly loses it. Turns. Great run from Gustavo Hamer from deep. And we get a goal back. It's not fixed things. It's not solved the issue. But it's a good start. And a good time to score as well. 30 minutes on the clock. It's 2-1. Everton still lead. But we are back into it. Halved the deficit. Dele Alli here bursting forward, but Doughty does really well as Willock and Doughty work together there to get that ball off him. But not quite a forgotten man, but a man who's not really played that much recently for Everton. And a nice ball here. Armstrong tries to dink it through. A similar run to the Hamer run. This time it was Ilias Chair bursting through, but the defence does well enough to stop the effort going through, because Chair through one-on-one, I'd have backed him to find the back of the net. Great tackle there from Kenneth Powell. Sadly, it was after an advantage given to Everton. But it was a really nice step in there from Kenneth Powell. But Everton, with not long left in the half, they're going to try and bring this ball forward. Chiquinho has seen plenty of the ball and has looked pretty good. Jorko, which I think is Ikone, if memory serves me correctly, bringing it forward. You can see they've made some real good signings here. Kalulu as well at right back. Tyreek Mitchell at left back. Some real good signings. A lot of French signings with Ikone, Kalulu and Meslier. But that is going to be the first half whistle blown. Referee finishes the first half, and not many positives to take, but some positives. Halving the deficit on that half-hour mark is fantastic. We've kept them relatively quiet after their 2 strikes on target, but to concede 2 goals early on is very disappointing. 3 goals scored, 9th, 19th and 29th. Interesting. But some changes being needed here. Lyndon Dykes is going to make his way onto the pitch here. I'd have absolutely loved to have done it and pulled Armstrong out wide here. I'm going to bring on Lyndon. We are going to do that. And is it a big ask to throw Paul in on what I think is his debut? As we are behind here, it is a big ask. But we're going to do it. We need to rest a couple of people for the United game. I'm not putting this game behind the United game in regards to importance, but it's got to be something we think about because it's against a team that's right at the top of the table. But this game, I should say, against Everton, still important, and there's work to do. But second half, Dykes and Paul on for Sinclair Armstrong and Jakob Brun-Larsen. Work to do, boys. We've got 45 minutes to make that work count. Let's see if we can start off strong here. Not quite. Godfrey steps in well, but second half, work to do, boys. Chimetti plays it through here to Dele Alli. Dele Alli plays it backwards here. Ikone on the ball now. Can he find some purchase in the middle of the box here? Plays a lofted pass there to the edge of the box, but Gustavo Hamer does really well to get back and win the header. See it clear there, but Chair going to look down and find Chris Willock. Lovely overlap here from Doughty. We are going to find that run now. Doughty just bursting forward down this right-hand side. Going to cut inside. Plays a lovely ball into Lyndon. Lyndon Dykes. Oh, that super sub status. I could see it again. It was back-to-back thumbnails there for Lyndon as he strikes again. Ilias Chair with the Trivela. Took plenty of times of asking there in the box, but we do find the back of the net. We are back in this one. It's been scrappy, but the goal has been found, and the away fans absolutely loving that one there at Goodison Park. But huge goal, and again, good timing. Just drops down, bit of pinball in the box there between a few players, but Chair with that Trivela around the penalty spot just plays it past Meslier. Not too much he can do about that. Hits that pretty hard, and it does find the back of the net. A 2-0 deficit has been turned around, boys. Come on, let's see if we can push for a third. You'd like to think that the flow of the game is now in our favour. Let's see if that holds true. Gustavo Hamer plays this down now to Chris Willock. Willock sees the run there from Lyndon. Just gets goal side of Tarkowski. Mitchell and Godfrey step in, but they don't stop it. Tarkowski gets back in the end to stop the chance eventually there, but we were making it problematic for them. Miguel makes his way off the pitch. Marius Wolf comes on off the bench here. Is it time for us to maybe look to our bench as well? I'm thinking maybe we're going to take off Hamer. Oh, Richards does drop quite heavily there, actually. You know what? Richards can come on for Chair. Ambitious change there, but it's a change we are going to make. And we're going to bring on Ziad Larkech for Kenneth Powell. We are really weakening our side right now in regards to ratings. But again, I want a nice, strong team ready as well for this game against Man United. And we are pushing in this game, even with some rotation. It's showing that the youth players are coming in and giving themselves a chance of more minutes down the line. But let's get this ball up there. Aim for near the penalty spot. Jake Clark-Salter with a good strong header to that near post, but Meslier gets down to his left well and stops it going in. Let's aim for this one a little bit deeper. We're going to aim for Lyndon this time. It's gone to Jake Clark-Salter again near the penalty spot, but Godfrey is the only man really jogging in that spot there as they get it away. Bit of a wasted opportunity. Can we win this ball high up? Garner, good press here from Clark-Salter. He gets help though, and they do get it away in the end. Larkech plays it into Hamer. Gustavo Hamer into Richards. Richards now going to try and find Lyndon Dykes, who's slowed down to hit that strike. I asked him to keep sprinting and to just whack that at goal, but he slowed down for some reason. But Doughty wins that ball really well there. Let's get this across the byline here. Chris Willock, look at that back post. We see Paul darting into the box. Isn't going to win it. Gustavo Hamer doesn't win the header. Paul wins it on the drop, and it goes just over the bar there. It was just dropping nicely for him to try and hit it on the volley, and he did just do that. But Dele Alli parting way for Calvin Phillips, two somewhat forgotten players at their respective teams. But Calvin Phillips now at Everton, getting some game time. About 10 minutes on the clock. It still could go either way here, but I think we are looking the better team as Tarkowski messes around on the edge of his box there. What is he doing? Gustavo Hamer steps in really well there to win that ball. Mitchell kind of really needs some help when he gets it a little bit from Garner, but Willock is going to turn. Just about takes it away from Mitchell there. Lyndon hasn't really got an option to go forward. Doesn't get fouled apparently, but Hamer plays it. Oh, tries to play it through to Paul. That would have been absolutely phenomenal for the young man to try and find the back of the net from there. But I think the game is going to end, and it does. In that 94th minute, 2-2 is the final score. We did really well to fight back into that one, but it's just a shame we couldn't quite find that third. It feels like it was there, just in our grasp, but we didn't quite find it. Chances not quite falling for us in the way we needed, but a good effort from the boys and a real good shift put in there from a bit of rotation. Have to say, Peder did a really good job, 90 minutes on the pitch against a tough Premier League side there, but he held his own. And well done to the young lads who came on as well. But 2-2, it's a point earned, I think, that one. It does feel good to get some of the youth players out there and getting some chances and not dropping many points as well, even though we're having to rotate heavily. But you can see now with that draw, 3 points away from second place Man United and 5 points off the top. It feels ridiculous to be in this position. It really does. But we are playing some really good football, picking up some really vital points. And a game against Man United could be pretty crucial to seeing if we can secure a top 4 spot, because again, a win against United puts us in second, which is crazy. So we'll see if anything happens between now and then. Otherwise, I'll see you at the game. Okay, here is our lineup against United. Worth noting, they did get an extra day's rest ahead of us. They played one game earlier than us, but this is a huge game. It's a 12:30 kickoff, boys. It's not just your standard 3 o'clock, all right? This is a big game. But you can see rotation, Cashin and Dunn coming in as the centre-back duo. Field makes his way back. Dazelle comes in for the tired Hamer, and Chaplin starts on the right over Willock, who doesn't actually make the bench due to fitness. A bit of rotation in there. A few of the young lads again finding their way onto the bench with a bit of a chance to maybe come on and make a name for themselves in what would be a huge moment. But second against third at Loftus Road, nobody saw that coming. But again, they've got a few tired legs in there. We can see Ericsson here, a little bit tired. His stamina wasn't through the roof. Rashford expected to play on the left, and Nesri up front. But hopefully the boys can come out knowing how big a game this is. That is not Ten Hag. But hopefully we can just come away with something. To not drop points against United would be massive. My main focus is that. It's just, let's not lose this one, because the teams above us are close, but the teams below us are also very near to us. So it's a big one, boys. Second against third. Come on, you Ars. Great win there from Chaplin out on this slightly new position for him on the right-hand side. And he not just wins the ball off Shaw, but wins a leg race against Shaw here as well. Sinclair Armstrong turns, gets it back to Chaplin. Chaplin with the strike. Onana with the save. It drops to Brun Larsen. He can't quite get the purchase on it. Kicks it straight back into Andre Onana, who does make the save. And that's a really shaky start from the Man United defence and a really strong one from our attack. Chaplin again wins the ball off Luke Shaw. This looks to be a battle that is very much in our favour here, as Chaplin takes it into the middle, and Chaplin finds the strike across the goal, and Onana can do nothing to stop that one. Chaplin making the most of his opportunity here. What a haircut from that man on the left there. That is incredible. How am I focusing on that more than the goal? What a start, boys. What a phenomenal run. Winning the ball against Shaw, bringing it forward, finding the strength to take the centre-back on, and then to find the back of the net. Absolutely things you'll have to see. Connor Chaplin with a phenomenal start for us here in this very crucial game. A game that could see us become the new second team in the Premier League. Things you'll have to see, boys. What a start. Come on, boys. Cash in with a good slide there to keep that ball away from United, bringing that ball forward. And Larsen, that is not the pass I was looking for, but what a beautiful pass it was. And he gets it back here. Brun Larsen across the keeper. Makes it 2, boys. Can you believe it? He's there again. He's travelled from one stand to the other. He's in the family stand now. And boys, it's things you love to see. Brun Larsen cutting in, just absolutely taking the defenders out of it. And a thunderous strike with that left foot into the far corner and finds the back of the net. Onana nowhere near it. No idea what he's doing there, but I'll tell you what he isn't doing is saving that strike. Jakob Brun Larsen, take a bow, my friend. Boys, I'm on ultimate. I don't know what more I can do, but we are 2-0 up against Manchester United. And Nesri with the ball here. Good pass into Bruno Fernandes. Lovely back heel. Back to him. Labrovic with the save. Oh my word. Saves it onto the post. Talk about a stroke of luck there. That could have gone anywhere. The spin on that was mental. You'd like to think Labrovic maybe would have saved it, but he didn't. Boys, Luke Shaw, his positioning in this game is terrible. Chaplin tries to play it across. It's going to drop to Williams, who does head it, but only as far as Ilias Chair. Chaplin back to Chair. Ilias Chair with the Trivela. Good save there from Andre Onana. Boys, we are looking pretty good. Admittedly, that chance from En-Nesyri with Labrovic saving up to the post could have been problematic, but thankfully it wasn't. Let's get this ball in the box there. Not a great corner. Rashford's going to get it away. Field to... Oh, that is... I don't know what's happened there. A terrible shot from Connor Chaplin, but it falls to Onana. Boys, we are playing fantastic right now. Ball through here to En-Nesyri. We saw what he did last time. Steps into cash in there. Good bit of strength. Plays it again. Labrovic is going to claim that. But boys, their fullbacks are attacking and overlapping so much that it is creating so much space for us down these wings. And we just have to do this every time we get the ball to counter. Play it out to the wingers. Wait for a fullback to overcommit and just blitz past them. I see the win con here. It is just anytime they bring that ball forward, just win the ball while either Williams or Luke Shaw are high up the pitch. And the game is ours to win, boys. It really, really is. We have kept them very quiet, and especially with a good strike that nearly causes a problem and a strike that was never going to trouble the keeper in the end. But boys, I do not see us underperforming from this point. Paul Smith, not overly full of stamina, but is going to make his way on here. The pace that Paul Smith is going to provide will be frightening. For now, though, I think we'll keep the rest of it the same as it is. We have got a bit of a break between this game and the game against Leeds, provided the cup game does not fall in between. But for now, I think we just crack on with the same. Nothing much else to change, other than Paul Smith is going to give Luke Shaw nightmares. Second half, more of the same, please, boys. Come on, you arse. Ball here with Williams. Williams tackled, though, by Powell. And this is where I was talking about the fullback situation. That's where if I can get that ball forward, it's a really, really good opportunity to catch them on the counter. But Eriksson is going to make way here for Mason Mount. Another forgotten man. Man, there's a lot of them hanging around, aren't they? And they all seem to be English players. But Mason Mount bringing his... I don't know what he brings in, but he brings something to the game, apparently. Ten Hag deems so. I think, personally, Mason Mount is horrifically overrated. But we shall see if we can make this work here. Look at this. Do you see where Brandon Williams is? Nowhere near Connor Chaplin. He's changed wing, but he's got the same luck and the same amount of space. And Connor Chaplin makes it 3, boys. It's absolutely things you love to see. And Connor Chaplin, it's a knockout, boys. You are not asleep. You do not need to pinch yourselves. We are 3-0 up against Manchester United, and we are looking comfortable for it as well. We are looking real good, playing some lovely football, finding some fantastic finishes. 3 goals, not even an hour gone, I don't think, boys. And it is absolutely things you love to see. Going to get some changes ready. Oh, it's just past the hour, but yeah, what a result so far. United here bringing it forward, and En-Nesyri with a chance to maybe play it into Mason Mount, but he doesn't try and play that ball. He plays it to him now, which I think is maybe a touch too late. But Bruno Fernandes from the edge of the box. Labrovic with a good save sees it wide of the post. We've made a plethora of changes here. Chaplin, Armstrong, Dazal and Doughty all make way for Andrew, Lyndon Dykes. Oh God, I can't think who else we brought on now. They went too quickly. Ozzy Kakai and Peda. So Andrew is coming up left wing. Lyndon Dykes at striker. Ozzy Kakai at right back. Good save there from Labrovic from the header from Martinez. And then Peda on for Dazal in the middle of the park. So pretty much like-for-like changes. The only one being a bit different is Peda on at left wing. Haven't played him there before, but he gets a +2 there. So it's evidently a position he's somewhat okay with trying out. Cash in, that was nearly problematic, but he did well to get it away eventually. Not very far, though. Let's stick with this for a second. Ozzy Kakai, well stepped in, my friend. Really good job. Not a great pass, though. But yeah, just a bit of rotation. We can afford to rotate when we're winning 3-0 at home with about 15 minutes to go. But Anthony, going to run inside the box here. Looks back, finds Jorginho, has the strike. Labrovic with a comfortable save. Kenneth Powell bringing this ball forward. Look at that run inside there from Sam Field. Lovely play. Andrew on the ball now. Andrew, can he find a pass inside? He can. Ilias Chair, great save though from Onana. Onana's going to look back. He's going to find Ozzy Kakai. He's going to try and take on his man. Does so. The runners across the middle aren't there. It was a good run in the end. Very late there from Andrew, but I don't think Ozzy would have found in the strike. Just went out of the post. By the way, they've taken off both their fullbacks. Not a fan of that one. Not a fan of that one. That's a good bit of play here from United, but Labrovic with a very good save there. Rashford with a fantastic strike down to Labrovic's left, but he does get to it, and he gets to it very well as well, it has to be said. Really, really good save from Labrovic. Few questions I had asked of him as it goes over the bar there with that last chance, but he had been a little bit ropey in the last couple of games across the last episode and today, but he's definitely made up for it with some good saves in this game against United. A comfortable 3-0 win. That did not look like a second versus third. That looked like a third versus 14th, which it didn't in the game against Everton. But we come away with 3 goals and 3 important points there. Have to say, Chaplin in that wing position looked phenomenal. I do think it was aided by the style of play that United played, with really getting those fullbacks overlapping, and it made so much space. Didn't really get a chance to test Smith against Shaw. A lot of chances were coming down on our left-hand side and taking it past Williams, but good result, boys. Very, very happy with that. Well, all we've got to do is keep winning, and things like this are possible. We are ahead of Man United, and it is purely, I believe, on goals for, because our goal difference is the same, our points are the same. I'm fairly sure it then comes to goals for. So we are in second place, boys, in the Premier League. Now, I'm going to say this here and now. I'm well aware this is incredibly unrealistic, not just because QPR are not in a relegation scrap in the Championship, but are actually in a title scrap in the Premiership, and it's our first season there. I don't know what more I can do outside of, I've got it on Ultimate. I've made the sliders so it's playable, but still very, very difficult. But I would argue maybe slightly more difficult just with tweaking both mine and the opposition goalkeepers to make both mine and the opposition goalkeepers better. And we're still in second place in the Prem. I don't know what more I can do. Any other suggestions, let me know. But yeah, we're just going to power on through to the next game. I will see you guys there. Well, a loan move for a player here. I think this must be Toby Paul. I'm fairly sure he's the only person we had any outstanding possible loans. Oh no, this is Taylor Richards. Taylor Richards has actually left the club on a 12-month loan to Braga. Now, bit of an interesting one. Obviously, we're covering 100% of the wages because I did it through my team and not through me going in and manually doing it. But yeah, I kind of forgot that that was actually happening. So, little bit of depth going there. Is it happening at the end of the season? Maybe, but yeah, I kind of forgot that was happening. Well, boys, we are going with our strongest 11 with just the one change. Chaplin in for Ilias. Feels almost like the unthinkable to drop Ilias' chair, but it is just because Chaplin played so well in that last game, and I think he is deserving of a start here. I nearly started Linden. I won't lie to you. Nothing against him. You know what, boys? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start Lyndon Dykes. Don't want to piss him off too much. I do think we're going to sell him at the end of the season or the start of next year. But bit of rotation. Maybe just give Armstrong a chance to come on off the bench because I don't think Armstrong scored in today's episode. So time will tell. Connor Chaplin rocking the trackies. All right, my guy. I see you. I see you. But yeah, a big chance here for Chaplin to maybe try and make a bit of a name for himself in some more consistent starts and maybe some more consistent football. But it's QPR against Leeds. Come on, you Oz. Chaplin with the ball here in the middle of the park. Oh, a bit of a slack pass there, but he does win it back and actually just about keeps hold of it here. Going to play it through. Lyndon Dykes, first time strike. Good save there from Ortega Moreno. Good keeper to pick up because obviously they have lost Melier. I think Moreno is a pretty good option to have brought through. Or Ortega, I should say. Very, very competent keeper. Not getting many minutes, obviously, at United. But let's whip this in here with Chaplin. It's a decent cross into a good area, but just no one in there. But Bryn Larson going to have a strike. Oh, it's a bit of a wayward strike, but the thought was there. Ball forward here into Aronson. Oxford tries to sort of check the run, but doesn't get anywhere near the ball. And Aronson bursts past it. Doughty isn't going to get the ball. Oxford runs past it. Piru with the strike. Labrovic with the save. Didn't really catch it first time, but did keep hold of it eventually the second time. Kenneth Powell tries to play it down the line, but it's a good interception. Rutter now trying to burst down the line, but Sam Field, he is not the quickest customer, but he was quick enough there to catch up to Rutter. Good lad. Chaplin brings it forward. Sees a run here from Chris Willock. Willock with a good turn. Plays it into Larson. Larson lets Willock overlap. Can Willock take it past Struick? No, he can't. It's a good idea. Just didn't quite work out for us there. Oh, I've overcommitted with Kenneth Powell. Clark Salter's now going to have to come over and try and cover for him. Kenneth Powell, I'd like you to try and come back out wide so I can bring Clark Salter through. Great tackle there. That is why I wanted Clark Salter central. Really, really important tackle there. And Willock now, that is a poor pass over the top to Bryn Larson. But this is kind of end-to-end. But we're not really threatening Leeds quite as much as I feel like they're threatening our defence. Great tackle there from Linden, high up the pitch. Gives Willock a chance to bring this ball forward. We see a run from Chaplin, and I see that run from Bryn Larson. Willock, what is that cross? Chris Willock, that is a terrible, terrible ball in there. A good cross to Bryn Larson, who I called that pass, and it would have been a real good chance for Bryn Larson, either on the volley or to maybe even take a touch and then play a strike, but the cross just let us down. Good win here. Chaplin gets it to Linden. Linden to Willock. Willock, a better cross this time because that run from Bryn Larson is there again. Ortega reads the cross, gets an important hand to that because there's two players, Chaplin and Bryn Larson, almost jogging on the spot to just tap that one home. But it's a very, very good level of instinct there from the keeper. Dreamer with the ball here just at the end of the first half. Kenneth Powell does really well to step into that one. Gets that ball away. Can Linden win that? He can. But the referee is going to call for half-time there. Probably the quietest of first halves in the games we've seen today. With both the other first halves, I'm fairly sure, giving us 2 or more goals. So, been a bit of a quiet one, but there's been action. There's been good action. Our best chances coming from crosses, in all honesty, one of which would have been an absolute peach of a cross if it had found its mark. But some good chances, but not quite enough to find the first goal today. Going to move Chaplin out wide and bring on Chair for Larson. That's mainly a fitness situation. And we're going to bring on Armstrong. I gave Dykes 45. Didn't really do much wrong, but didn't offer much. So let's just see if Armstrong coming on and just 45 minutes in the tank to see if he can offer his first goal today, because it's been a quiet one for Sinclair today. Let's see if we can, I don't know, let's see if we can just win. Would be nice. Well, look here, bursting through. Look at the run from Hamer. Hamer hasn't really got an option to play inside. Has the strike. Ortega with a comfortable save. Couldn't catch it, but comfortable enough to just see that one not find its way into the back of the net as he messes around at the back, but does get it clear. Leeds are knocking this ball around really nicely. Some good one-touch football. And look at these players and the overlaps they've got going here. This is what United were trying to do and failing to do quite drastically. But some really nice play there. And now actually chance for us to do what we did against United, and that is just overlap down these wings. Doughty, the ball from Willock. Again, his passing today not really been his best strength. He's kind of wasted a few chances with some wayward passes. Chair, I tried the Trivella, maybe a bit ambitious. Piru potentially through here. Reece Oxford with work to do. Does it really well there. Good strong foot in to stop anything potentially brewing from that, but we just can't really create the space for ourselves. We're having to be a little bit non-conventional for how I tend to play to try and find space and make chances here. But Field gets it to Chaplin. Chaplin kind of loses it. Going to try and find Armstrong. I maybe should have backed him to go by himself. That was a good chance there. Armstrong gets a knock on it, but it doesn't quite head goalward bound, and it very easily could have done. Doughty with a real strong header here into Ilias Chair. Ilias Chair, look at that run from Hamer. Look at that run from Hamer. Oh, these deep runs from Gustavo Hamer are proving to pay off. That is his 3rd goal this season, and all 3 have come very recently, and all 3 have been similar goals in these lovely runs from deep. And just finding that space, it's just pulling the centre-back or the CDM out of the way with your cam, and then just finding that run through with the CDM. And he has done exactly that with a lovely strike into that top corner there. And Gustavo Hamer proving yet again to be a crucial signing as we make a couple of changes here. 81st minute, and we finally break their deadlock. But I've taken off a few players here. Doughty and Willock on the right-hand side, both coming off, along with Sam Field. And we bring on Ozzy Kakai, we bring on Paul Smith, and we bring on Andre Dazelle. So 3 like-for-like changes, and mate, it's a really good time. 10 minutes on the clock, or 10 minutes to go, I should say. And it's a good time to find that first goal. Oh, good tackle there from Piru high at the pitch. And that tackle led to a shot, but it was well saved from Labrovic in the end. And thank God he was alert to that, because that could have been problematic. But Dazelle here, look at the run for Chaplin. Chaplin's going to look up. He's going to find Paul Smith. The sweaty goal was there, boys. I couldn't not do it. We're in a fan, I think, at this point here, but it doesn't matter. The main thing is that is 2-0, and that is 3 very important points secured. It really is every single game. Whatever points we get are very important, but obviously it was looking like a bit of a scrappy 0-0 for a while, which would have dropped us down to 3rd, which isn't the end of the world, but it would have allowed the teams like Arsenal, like Liverpool, to start catching up to us, which is what we want to avoid if we want to stay in that top 4. But really glad to see Paul Smith score, because he doesn't get too many chances for us now in this save, but he's got one there. He's made the most of it, and it's 2-0. And there it is, boys. The late winners being much needed, in all honesty. That Gustavo Hamer run and that Gustavo Hamer goal, it's making me really happy that he's starting to get those goals. Like I say, I brought him in to not just be a DM, to kind of be like a deep lying playmaker, to get those goals occasionally, to get those like lovely through balls and assists and play it through to the attackers. But us playing that like that cam and then 3 forwards, it kind of ends up being a lot between those guys getting the goals and assists. But it's lovely to see Hamer finally coming into his own a little bit there, so I'm really happy to see that. But boys, 2-0 and 3 more points secured in what was a very, very tricky game. Well, another 3 games done, and I have to say I'm very happy with the results. And United lose a game, which means Arsenal overtake them as well. So Man United have gone from 2nd to 4th in a week. That is crazy. But we are still sat in 2nd place, 5 points behind City. I would be very surprised if City drop 5 points between now and the end of the season. That's providing we don't drop any points, which we are obviously likely to at some point. But that is going to be where we call today's video. Thank you so much for the love and support. Hopefully you guys are excited with this series, not just being back, but being back even more consistently. And if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on it. It supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to check us out on our live streams, Hursty Games over on Twitch and TikTok. We will actually have some career mode content coming to our live streams as well. Not the QPR career mode, that will stay as a video series, but a separate career mode that we're going to be running on our streams as well. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching. That's all from me. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. Take care.